Welcome to the Institute for Multisensory Education Overview. My name is Kathleen Law, and I'm going to be giving you a brief overview of both the comprehensive Orton-Gillingham Plus course and the Morphology Plus course. The Institute for Multisensory Education's mission is that IMSE is committed to empowering teachers with the knowledge and tools to promote individual reading excellence for all learners. What we do is train educators how to teach reading more effectively using a proven structured literacy approach. Many current professional development trainings cover theory. IMSE provides professional development based not only on theory or the why, but also the what and the how. IMSE uses structured literacy Orton-Gillingham principles. We focus on the essential 5 components of reading, which include phonological awareness, phonics, fluency, vocabulary, and comprehension. IMSE's course structure is aligned with key research in the science of reading. Why IMSE does this work? Well, teachers may not have been taught how to teach all children to learn to read. Students must learn to read so they can read to learn. IMSE provides the knowledge and resources needed to teach foundational skills for all learners in all tiers. Students are engaged and empowered with each lesson. How IMSE applies instruction is through a hands-on multimodal approach. We teach using direct explicit instruction. IMSE has a cumulative scope and sequence, and we teach the building blocks for student success. Here is a look at one of the 4 theoretical models of reading developed by Go and Tunmer. The simple view of reading is a research-supported representation of how reading comprehension develops, and that reading has 2 basic components: word recognition or decoding, and language comprehension. Reading comprehension is the product of word recognition and language comprehension. This formula is multiplied, not added, to reach the goal. In other words, you have to have both components to have reading comprehension. Another theoretical model of reading is from Dr. Hollis Scarborough, who took the simple view of reading and created a visual representation with the example of a rope. As you can see, there are lower strands and upper strands. The word recognition strands work together as the reader becomes more fluent and automatic. The language comprehension strands reinforce one another. These weave together to produce a skilled reader. This takes time, practice, and good instruction. The first course I'm going to discuss is the comprehensive Orton-Gillingham Plus training. This 30-hour course is accredited by the International Dyslexia Association. The IMSE Orton-Gillingham Plus course is a hands-on, interactive, and personalized class that is geared toward the foundational literacy skills and primarily focuses on phonological awareness, phonics, encoding and decoding. Participants will learn to administer informal, criterion-referenced assessments for differentiation and progress monitoring. Participants will learn multi-sensory strategies to teach reading, writing, and spelling. The course also includes an asynchronous component that shares research and strategies for teaching and assessing fluency, vocabulary, and comprehension. Participants will master teaching the 6 syllable types and 4 syllable patterns for encoding and decoding. The comprehensive Orton-Gillingham Plus course is appropriate for teachers whose students are emergent and beginning readers, as well as readers struggling with word recognition. This includes kindergarten through 2nd grade teachers, any teacher in grade 3 and beyond whose students require foundational reading skills, RTI and literacy coaches, special education teachers, Title I instructors, tutors, speech language therapists, and EL educators. Here's a list of the wide array of materials each participant will receive: a training and assessment manual, a set of teacher guides for grades kindergarten, first, and second, IMSE Spelling Teacher Guide for grades 3rd and up, the Phonological Awareness Resource Book, IMSE Syllable Division Workbook, Phoneme Grapheme Card Pack, Syllable Division Cards, Practice Packet, access to PDFs of IMSE's decodable readers, access to the asynchronous fluency, vocabulary, and comprehension webinar, which include a digital practice packet, an IMSE blending board, a routine flip chart, and a 1-year subscription to interactive OG 2.0 and the resource portal. Assessments are an invaluable part of teaching as they help find students' strengths and weaknesses. Here's a look at a few of the assessments provided in our training as part of the materials participants receive. Phonological awareness is the understanding that our spoken language is made up of words and that our words are made up of individual units of sound called phonemes. Phonological awareness helps children understand the alphabetic principle and helps students hear and manipulate oral sound patterns before they can be related to print. Participants receive this resource book, which includes the Phonological Awareness Assessment covering all 16 skills, along with engaging activities to target these skills. For the beginning reader, we use IMSE's Beginning Reading Skills Assessment. In this assessment, students are asked to say, not sing the alphabet, name and recognize capital and lowercase letters, write capital and lowercase letters, and name and recognize sounds. We also evaluate strengths and weaknesses in writing. IMSE's assessments are designed to be grade level benchmarks given to all students 3 times per year on the following skills. The primary purpose of these assessments is to document whether or not a student is meeting benchmarks in phonics. The secondary purpose of this assessment is to determine starting points for instruction when working with students in tiers 2 and 3. IMSE uses an informal spelling assessment for older students. The spelling assessment errors can be grouped into 3 different categories: phonology, orthography, and morphology. Being able to analyze the informal spelling assessment is an essential part of knowing how to help students. Here's a look at the K1 and 2 scope and sequence. As each new concept is introduced, IMSE provides a list of words and sentences, which allows students to apply what they've learned in their reading and writing. Not only will all participants be provided with practice content for newly learned concepts, but IMSE also integrates review concepts systematically so that students are getting constant exposure and practice with concepts they've already learned. In kindergarten, IMSE teaches letter sounds, including short and long vowels, and digraphs. We also teach irregular words, or what we call red words, through orthographic mapping. In 1st and 2nd grade, IMSE teaches beginning and ending consonant blends, syllable types and patterns, and spelling rules. Students practice what they have learned through word and sentence dictation and decodable books. The IMSE Orton-Gillingham outline looks like this. I will be taking all 5 parts of the outline and breaking them down into small snippets to give you a brief overview. Taking a look at the outline, the first part is our 3-part drill, which is a review of any previously learned concepts. It has 3 parts: visual, auditory kinesthetic, and blending. You will see stars noted at the vowel intensive. The vowel intensive piece is pushed in if students still need work on mastering short vowel sounds. If they don't need that practice, then this piece is pulled off. The 3 pieces of the 3-part drill stay consistent whether you are doing this approach with a kindergarten class or a 7th grade remediation class. The first part of the 3-part drill is the visual drill. Each participant receives phoneme grapheme cards. These cards are reviewed to make sure every student has the accurate sounds. The students see the grapheme or letter and state the phoneme or sound. For example, the teacher shows the card and the students produce the sound that is the visual drill. The second part of the three-part drill is called the auditory kinesthetic drill. This drill involves using something that is tactile for the students to be able to write the letters and feel the texture. For this activity, the student is going to hear the phoneme or sound, and then they are going to write the letter or grapheme in multicolored sand. For example, the teacher would say, "Eyes on me, spell t," repeat, and the students would say, "t," "t" spells "t," as they write and verbalize simultaneously using those different pathways. The third part of the three-part drill is blending, which is preparing students for syllabication. In this activity, the phoneme grapheme cards are situated on the blending board in consonant, vowel, consonant format. Students then practice segmenting and blending. In the training, the instructor is acting as the teacher, and the participants are acting as the students to get that hands-on practice for fluency. The second component to the outline is teaching a new concept. This will be dependent on grade level and concepts that you are teaching. Teaching a new concept can be a single grapheme, a spelling rule, or any concept that is being taught. There are two parts to teaching a new concept: the multisensory experience and the application of a new concept. The multisensory experience is where we are teaching using a multimodal approach and making real-life connections with students. There are 8 various steps of teaching a new concept. This is where we are introducing the sound or spelling rule, introducing the grapheme or letter, making connections, brainstorming, practicing letter formation, dictation, and connecting it all to literature. IMSE's teacher guides provide a guided routine for each lesson with notes, reminders, and sample scripts. Here is a look into the teacher guide lesson plan for teaching long vowels and closed and open syllables. You can see the lesson starts with phonological awareness activities. Using a multisensory experience, students are taught the new concept. They are then asked to apply their learning through word and sentence dictation. Students then work on fluency, vocabulary, and comprehension using IMSE's activities and decodable readers. These activities inform the teacher if the student has mastered the concept or if they need additional practice. We have a connection to literature in the teaching of a new concept. IMSE provides decodable readers, including sets A, B, and C, that align with the various concepts that follow the scope and sequence. Here is an example from set A. This one incorporates concepts M through P. Here's a look inside the readers. They are formatted in an easy-to-read font. They have black and white pictures for coloring, and they have literal comprehension questions at the end. These decodable readers are also available in passage form for older readers who don't feel comfortable reading more primary-looking decodables. The passages also have the comprehension questions at the bottom. The PDF version is included with the comprehensive OG Plus training materials. The second stage of teaching a new concept is the application piece. Students apply what they have learned by writing words and finger tapping sounds and writing sentences by pounding syllables. The steps to writing words are as follows. The teacher dictates a word and the student repeats the word. The student finger taps the sound they hear in the words. They have a left hand and a right hand. For students who are right-handed, they will finger tap with their left hand, starting at the pinky finger. For students who are left-handed, they will tap with their right hand, starting with their thumb. We want students to finger tap with their non-dominant hand so they can have their writing tool in their dominant hand. Finger tapping is a strategy that we also teach and model during the training. Teachers are learning how to do this so they can turn around and implement it with their students. The second part is writing sentences. This is where the students are going to pound the syllables in the sentence and finger tap for each word. The third component to the outline is red words or irregular words. In a red word, some part of the word contains an unexpected spelling. During training, teachers learn a multimodal procedure for teaching new red words and reviewing previously taught red words. Our process looks like this for the initial introduction of a new red word. The teacher states the word. Then the students think about how many sounds they hear in the word. We want them to think about what they hear prior to writing the word. Then the teacher writes the word and discusses what is unexpected or irregular in that written word versus the sounds that we hear in spoken word. We then investigate the history of the word using the website EdumOnline. That can help our students understand that there might be a morphological marker that connects the word with a similar meaning, or an orthographic marker that might be a letter that is added to fit a rule. Then we launch into the red word technique, and we support the orthographic mapping of these irregular words. We teach how to teach red words using a multimodal approach. The fourth component of the outline is multisyllabic words. Once we move out of foundational skills, this is going to be a priority. People come to the training with a vast array of background knowledge, so we take this piece step by step. Here is an example of what the process looks like. In a training, we take it much slower to make sure everyone understands the steps and process. The first step is to find, underline, and label the vowel with a V. Then we connect the vowels with a bridge. Next, we determine what consonants are above our bridge. This allows us to find our syllable pattern. We teach explicitly where to divide the different syllable patterns presented. For this example, we teach explicitly that they will divide between the two consonants. Then we label the syllable type. The first one is closed and the second one is closed. This is taught explicitly in the training, so teachers have the background knowledge to take this back to their students on the process and steps to decode multisyllabic words. The fifth component of the outline is language comprehension, which includes vocabulary, fluency, and comprehension. This section is taught as an asynchronous component. The training manual and asynchronous video include research regarding fluency, vocabulary, and comprehension. Instructional activities are also included. In the training manual, there is a section that incorporates the research and why we teach vocabulary strategies, as well as fluency and comprehension. During the training, we are embedding practice time with vocabulary into our weekly lesson plans. Participants have access to IMSE's asynchronous fluency, vocabulary, and comprehension course for 1 year. Here are a couple of examples from the asynchronous training on how to embed vocabulary in the weekly lesson plan. Participants also receive access to our online lesson planning tool, which is called Interactive OG, for 1 year. All instructors discuss Interactive OG through the course of the training. This is an additional piece included with the materials. That wraps up the overview of the comprehensive Orton-Gillingham Plus course. Next, I'm going to talk about IMSE's Morphology Plus course. The IMSE Morphology Plus 30-hour course is a hands-on, interactive, and personalized class that provides a complete understanding of morphology, fluency, vocabulary, comprehension, and how to apply it in the classroom. The course has 2 asynchronous portions that cover writing and grammar and encoding and decoding. After participating in this course, teachers will have an understanding of the structure and foundation of the English language. This course is designed for upper elementary teachers, teachers whose students can spell and read but struggle with language comprehension, RTI, MTSS, and literacy coaches, special education and Title I teachers, adult literacy educators, speech language therapists, and EL educators. The materials that participants will receive for this course include the Teacher Training Manual, teacher guides for affixes, Latin and Greek bases, student passages, the Reading Comprehension Blueprint, the Vocabulary Handbook, Morpheme Card Pack, Practice Packet, Routine Flip Chart, IMSE's Writing and Grammar Manual Practice Packet and Webinar, and the Encoding Decoding Plus video and practice packet. This is taken directly from the Teacher Training Manual, and we discuss and have interactive ways to talk about the layers of the English language. We explain that the base is predominantly Anglo-Saxon. Those are the short, common, everyday base words. Latin bases are technical and sophisticated words, and Greek bases are specialized words, often science-based. Here is an overview of what a lesson plan template looks like. It looks very similar to the comprehensive Orton-Gillingham Plus lesson plan. I will briefly show you what we incorporate throughout the course of the week. Instructors will model lessons. Participants will participate in planning a lesson and then implementing that lesson with a partner. As you can see, we have our 3-part drill, which is a review of any previously learned concepts. Then we have our new concept learning. For this, it can be a morpheme or spelling rule, depending on where you are in the sequence of teaching your students. Then we have other literacy components like fluency practice, vocabulary, and comprehension. Participants have access to the writing and grammar asynchronous course and materials. And then we talk about weekly spelling and morpheme assessment. That gives you an overview of the lesson plan and how we practice through the course of the week. During the training, we discuss the importance of fluency, research behind why we do it, and various ways to practice fluency throughout the week. Fluency drills can take on many forms, and one of the ways we implement fluency is by using a rapid word chart. This one will show you different examples of what you can use on the rapid word chart. We go through this explicitly in the training, showing how it can be used in the classroom. This is the vocabulary handbook that is provided and referenced during training. We discuss specific word instruction, word learning strategies, and word consciousness. For vocabulary instruction, IMSE teaches specific words through robust instruction, word learning strategies, morphemic analysis, and contextual analysis. We train participants to engage students in rich oral language experiences, independent reading, and structured read-alouds and discussions. During the vocabulary section of the training, participants learn that all students benefit from explicit, direct vocabulary instruction. Included in the training is the comprehension planning checklist, along with several engaging activities to implement into the classroom. Participants will access the Encoding Decoding Plus and Writing and Grammar asynchronous courses through our website. That wraps up the overview of the Morphology Plus course. One of the things that IMSE prides ourselves on is the fact that IMSE has created many different alternative training schedules to fit the needs of participants. You can see we have in-person training options and live virtual training options that include traditional 5 days in a week, 3-hour morning and afternoon sessions, 3-hour evening sessions, weekend sessions, semesters, which is 3 hours once a week for 10 weeks, bi-weekly, which is 3 hours twice a week for 5 weeks, and several time zones to choose from. We understand that finding time to train teachers, coupled with the substitute shortage, is a roadblock for many districts. We are meeting the needs of teachers to make it more accessible to take these courses, either virtually or in person. Please contact us at info@imse.com to let us know if you have any suggestions for additional flexible formats. IMSE has over 75 instructors. We are all educators and have experience using IMSE's methodology in the classroom. Each trainer has a master's degree and are certified through the Center for Effective Reading Instruction. IMSE has the team in place for large-scale projects. In addition to the 2 courses that I presented, IMSE has a 12.5-hour phonological awareness course. Participants of this course take a deep dive into the phonological processing system, the importance of orthographic mapping, the sounds of the English language, assessments, and how to implement lesson activities. This asynchronous or live phonological awareness course is based on David Kilpatrick's Equipped for Reading Success. Participants will also get access to pre-made interactive digital materials that cover the topics in the Orton-Gillingham Plus course and the Morphology Plus course. Upon completion of an IMSE course, IMSE offers an online refresher to review learning at your own pace from the comfort of home. After completing one of IMSE's courses, participants also have the option of receiving one-on-one support from an IMSE instructor. Our coaching sessions are designed to meet the individual needs of the participant as they work to implement IMSE Orton-Gillingham strategies with fidelity. Our goal is to work with the participant to design and coach sessions that will best meet their individual learning needs. Coaches may provide up to 1 hour of support per session, which may include any of the following: video conferences where a coach answers questions and models strategies, video feedback where participants submit a video of themselves working with the student and the coach then provides feedback, or phone calls where participants schedule a time to ask questions or discuss feedback. After completing IMSE training, we offer 3 tiers of certification. The IMSE Fidelity Certification is a 15-hour asynchronous course. It will support educators with organization, implementing IMSE with their district's reading program, creating learning centers, and ways to differentiate in order to meet the needs of all learners. Additionally, this course will provide more in-depth information about dyslexia. After completing this post-training course, graduates will also receive a certificate that indicate that IMSE has verified them as having the knowledge needed to implement IMSE strategies with fidelity. IMSE also offers 120-hour practicum, which provides support in implementing IMSE OG strategies with fidelity. During the practicum, participants will be able to ask questions, receive resources, and receive feedback as they implement Orton-Gillingham strategies with their student. Graduates will be listed on the IMSE website as a certified IMSE OG educator tutor, and they will have the opportunity to be listed on the Learning Ally website as an Orton-Gillingham certified educator tutor. IMSE also certifies district instructors. There are many academic and financial benefits for a school district to have a qualified IMSE Orton-Gillingham master instructor on staff. Districts select teachers who will bring IMSE's impact programs to their teachers. Here are some of the benefits of an on-site IMSE master instructor: making a long-term investment in educators and students, ensuring program fidelity and accuracy, mentoring fellow teachers who have been IMSE OG trained, becoming an IMSE OG accredited school district, having an IMSE master instructor on staff for IEP meetings, receiving reduced rates for future trainings, having a practicum supervisor on staff, providing refresher and consultations on site free of charge. The Institute for Multisensory Education is here to support you. We know choosing a professional development company that teaches structured literacy can be overwhelming. please reach out to us at imse.com so we can help you find the right training. IMSE is also active on social media, so please be sure to follow us for teacher tips and freebies.